Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to Uncharted 4 Part 4, or no, what is this, Part 26? And also, to those of you in the United States, happy Thanksgiving, because I'm posting this episode on Thanksgiving, I think. It should be posting this on Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll do it the day before. But anyway, regardless, happy early Thanksgiving, or happy Thanksgiving, or whatever, man. Just like, hi. Hope you guys are having a good day, you know? Just try to bring some positivity up in here. Where is he?
Not on the bright side. There's.
So anyway, yeah. Last episode I said I would tell the origin of how I got my PlayStation 3 because I realized that at the time I'm recording these episodes, it is the 10-year anniversary of the PlayStation 3, and I have no intentions at the moment to do an RBD episode covering that. So, you know, fuck it. Let me just go ahead and say what it is. See, how did he fucking pop up there so quickly? They just added him.
Where were you?
So anyway, no, basically, journey back, young viewers, to a time where I was an angst-riddled 19-year-old back in the year 2006. I had been dating my wife for a whole year. She was still in high school. I was a year into college, and I hated college, and I was miserable. And I had actually recently gotten back into video games. I had kind of like gotten out of it. I didn't buy a 360 at launch, for example. I think I mentioned that somewhere online, either on one of the podcasts I did. I don't know. Anyway, so what happened was, so that happened, and I was getting excited about gaming again because Metal Gear Solid 4, they had shown trailers for it. We were about to get brand new consoles. And I was like, you know, I had a girlfriend. I wasn't like worried about finding someone to date because that was something that was very important to me for a long period of time. I was lonely and I really just wanted, you know, it was like my own How I Met Your Mother kind of scenario. Not really. And so, you know, all that was over. And I was starting to get very happy again. So I was like, man, I was starting to get really happy. And I'm like, man, what do I want to be doing right now? And so these consoles were coming out. And I was like, wow, the Wii and the PlayStation 3 are coming out. Holy shit. And if you guys want to know how I got my Wii, I actually made a video of that. It's on the channel. It's a retrospectives be damned video. I think I made it a few years ago. It's called How I Got My Nintendo Systems, and I talk about a few of the stories, and one of them is, in fact, the Wii. And so I was super stoked about that. And so I went to... they're doing pre-orders, and I went to a couple of places. I went to like the GameStop by my house. There's so many fucking GameStops. There's a GameStop by my house. There's a GameStop. There's a GameStop by my house. Oh, shit. And there's a GameStop at a mall that was nearby. So I first went to the one by my house, and they were like, sorry, man, sold out. And like literally the dude in front of me was like the cutoff point. It was one of those things where there was like, I don't know, I was the 13th person in line, and they came out and they only had 12 tickets. And I was like, shit. And then I asked them, like, well, can I pre-order like games and stuff, like to get that set up? And like, they're like, yeah, I mean, you can. We're going to have plenty of those. But honestly, I mean, if you don't have the console secured, I wouldn't even bother. And I'm like, geez, what an honest GameStop guy. So, I'm so lost because I'm trying to tell a long story. So, anyway, it's this way. So, I went to, like, Planet X, and which is what they call the GameStop. Some GameStops are called Planet X for some reason. In like the mall, that's what it was called. And I went there, and they were like, yeah, dude, we ran out of consoles. And I'm like, all right. And I was kind of bummed out, but I'm like, whatever, I'll find a way. Like, maybe I'll try Amazon, or I don't know, maybe they'll have like a second shipment. And I was bummed out. And then so I went to
We're heading down.
like a few days later, they were gonna do pre-orders on the Wii, and I'm like, well, fuck. I learned from the PS3. I'm gonna make sure I do this correct. So me and my friend, I'm like, hey man, do you want to come with me? I'm gonna go pre-order a Wii, and he's like, sure man. So he hopped in the car with me, and we were gonna drive to the GameStop that was close to our house, and like because we were neighbors, like we lived next to each other, and as I was driving by, he and I looked at each other and we started kind of like laughing because we saw this long as shit line, like really just long ass line, and I'm like, is that it? And he's like, yeah, dude, I think it is. And I'm like, ugh, because it was like a really long line. And I'm like, dude, let's just like not even get out of the car. Let's just keep going. He's like, yeah, let's just drive to Dolphin Mall, which is the mall that the place was located. So we kept driving, and we showed up at the place, and it was a lot less complicated than it was at the other place. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So
There we go.
we got in, and there was like nobody there. Like there was like 2 people, and I was one of them. And it was way better than like the long ass line that was forming at the other place. So I told my friend, like, hell yeah, I did it, man. And so they let us in, and I start going about, I pre-order. I can't remember what I pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered the Wii and like Zelda or something and whatever. And then, I mentioned something like, "Oh, are you guys hiring?" Because at the time I was looking for work, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, totally. Here, fill this out and bring it back." And I'm like, "Sweet." So I filled out this like form, and I hate this puzzle, by the way. So I filled out this form, and I filled out this form. Wait, am I doing this right? Where the fuck? Wait a minute. So I filled out this form, and I'm so confused right now. Okay, hold on. I think I got it. What the hell am I supposed to be doing? Oh, I get it now. So I filled out this form, and like whatever. What the hell? I filled out this form, and I brought it back to them like weeks later or whatever, and they're like, all right, sweet, man, we'll call you up if anything comes up. And I'm like, oh, cool. And so like weeks passed, and I didn't hear from them, and I'm like, I so didn't fucking get this job. And they called me in, and I did an interview, and it was a horrible interview. Like I think it was like my first job interview I ever did, so naturally I did like a really bad job. And but when the interview was over, the lady was like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a shot, you're hired, you're gonna be a seasonal employee. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much, like I really appreciate it, I promise I won't let you down. She's like, oh, it's cool. And she's like, just you show a lot of dedication. I saw you last week coming in pre-ordering a Wii, and it just shows that like you got dedication. I'm like, right on, yeah man, total dedication. And then I said, yeah, actually, it's funny. I wanted to also get a PS3. And she said, really? And I go, yeah, I wanted to get a PS3, but I couldn't find one. All the pre-orders were sold out. And then she like, bobbed her head, like, come over here. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, am I about to get blown? But no, like, thankfully that didn't happen. And she's like, you wanna pre-order one? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, man, am I going to have to, like... what the hell am I going to have to do for this? And then she comes over and she points at the computer screen, and it said, the computer screen said employee reserve, PlayStation 3 available 1. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, you are officially hired, so you can take this. And I'm like, yes! So I pre-ordered the employee one, because GameStop sets aside some employee ones. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And I got some games for it. I was so excited. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm getting a PlayStation. I was so excited. And so, I was super excited, and it was so cool, that all this was happening or whatever. And, alright, let me see if this lines up. It is so not going to line up. Close, though. And I was so happy. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I'm gonna actually get this console. And so like a few weeks pass, and I'm working there, and whatever, man, it's a fucking GameStop job. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the most amazing job ever. And so like when I'm done with work one day, it was actually when I went in to go pick up a pre-order of mine. What was it? It was a pre-order of mine I had done for... Oh, I was picking up Resistance Fall of Man. And she's like, my boss is like, yeah, I have some bad news. And I go, what? And she's like, you're not going to get the console. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And she's like, no, we have to give up your employee pre-order because a rule that we have here is, you could pre-order, but if we have to give up your order so that a customer can get it. The customer comes first. And I'm like, God damn it. So, like, I was so depressed. I was so pissed because I'm like, God damn it, I'm working for you guys. And so whatever, like a few weeks pass, and I'm like bummed out to shit that, this happened. And to make a long story short, I got a call one day. This is after I pick up my Wii, and after all this shit happens, and I get a call, and it's them telling me, hey man, you could actually come pick up we have like a 20 gigabyte model. Do you want to pick that up instead? Because I pre-ordered the 60. And my friend convinced me, just do it, dude. You know you want this. And I'm like, fuck yeah! So I went over and I picked it up and I was so excited and I brought it home and it came with that movie Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, which was so fucking weird. It came with that. I still have my Blu-ray copy. I think I saw it like once and I've never seen it. It's an okay movie. And I was so fucking happy. I was so excited, man. I was so happy that I had this console. It was my first HD console I ever owned. It was awesome, man. I got to play Resistance Day 1. That was my launch game. And then as a PS, I ended up working at that job for a while. And then they told me they were only going to keep one person on staff after the holidays were over. And there's like this dude, this like guy, he was handsome, he was an awesome worker, he was so good at everything, he had way more knowledge than me, and I'm like, what fucking chance do I get? And of course that guy got hired over me, that seasonal dude, so then I didn't get hired, and I kind of just whisked away, and I was bummed out about that. But good news is I actually ended up getting a job at the GameStop by my house, and I worked there for like a year, and that was really fun. And I met some people there that I still talk to this day, and, it turned out okay. So anyway, guys, all right, that is it took the whole episode to say, but that was my PS3 story. And that is the end of this episode. We will be back, of course, next week. Oh, actually, wait, are we back next week? No, I don't think so. Are we? Yeah, we are going to be back next week. We're going to be back next week with some more Uncharted action. That's going to be fun. And then December is going to be a weird month because December we have the new RBD coming out, and we also have a ton of Chris plays because I'm going to pick up Final Fantasy. I'm picking up Dead Rising 4. I might pick up The Last Guardian. So I'm going to try to squeeze in an Uncharted 4. It don't look good. I think we will be able to squeeze in an episode next month, but there's so much video stuff coming out in December. So, but anyway, we will be back next month. Next week with some more Uncharted. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, if you guys are watching this on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving in the U.S. And I hope you guys ate a lot. I hope you guys had fun. I hope I had fun. I hope I don't know what I'm doing at the time of this recording, but all right, guys, that's going to be all for me. Have fun, and thanks for watching. Take care.